Microphone check 1 2 1 2. This is your host, not some baby, and this is another episode of Swingers After Dark. You know, I'm looking up and down my Facebook news feed, and you know, a lot of people don't give a fuck about the coronavirus epidemic. It's like YOLO. You know, you only live once. Life goes on, and it's like we under the threat of an international emergency, not a national emergency, an international emergency on the brink of possible martial law, and people are willy-nilly walking outside, you know, walking their dogs, shooting the shit, you know, gathering in groups of more than 10 people. And it's like, damn, people are not taking this serious. They're not taking this serious. And it's to the point, like the mayor of New York was like, you know, I'm gonna fix you motherfuckers. I'm gonna go to damn near every park and tear down the motherfucking basketball rims. Yes, he did. It's like he got tired of people congregating in parks to the point where he told his peoples to go to some parks, you know, certain parks where he know that people are gonna be outside. And he was like, you know what? Take down them rims, you know, take down the motherfucking rims, because people are being hard-headed. People outside are being hard-headed because, you know, they don't take this serious. They think this is a conspiracy theorist or this is some fear-mongering bullshit. And, you know, the coronavirus, you know, whether you want to debate whether it's man-made or whether it's natural, you want to debate that, cool. But, you know, that comes to a point where you got to be disciplined. Real talk, you know, you got to look out for your fellow man, for your fellow citizens, for your neighbors. But, you know, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying, you know, be mindful and make sure that you and your family are safe, because you don't want to put other people at risk because, you know, you want to turn up, because you want to turn up and have fun and live life to the fullest. Because, you know, one of my homies, one of my associates in a swing lifestyle, he's a free-spirited motherfucker. Like, he don't give a fuck. He gives zero fucks, no fucks given. And, you know, he's a biker. So I'm looking up and down my news feed on Facebook, and this dude is popping willies on the West Side Highway in Manhattan. Like, you know, in Manhattan, it's like a ghost town. You know, Times Square, ghost town. Midtown, ghost town. Lower East Side Manhattan, ghost town. Spanish Harlem, ghost town. Harlem, ghost town. Hell's Kitchen, ghost town. The Theater District, ghost town. It's like nobody's really outside, but him and his crew, him and his ragtag crew, they taking, you know, bike rides on the fucking highway, on the expressway. It's like they popping willies, long ass willies, like mile long willies on the expressway, because the expressway is down there empty. So, you know, you got cars behind them, while they, you know, popping willies. Not no kitty shit willies, popping long willies. Like they popping willies as if they're riding a bike on two wheels. That's how ill these dudes are. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, what if, you know, one of the cars got to go to the emergency room? It's like, what they going to do? Are they going to run them over? Like, I'm thinking for my man's safety. But, you know, he's having fun, this, that, and the third. But I'm thinking to myself, you know, is going outside during the coronavirus, you're not an essential worker. You're not an essential worker. You're not going to the store to get, you know, whatever you need in the household. If you're not one of them two people, you shouldn't be outside. You should be in the house. You feel me? I know I almost had a Freudian slip by saying that, you know, you shouldn't be indoors, because I'm a firm believer that, you know, you should live life to the fullest, but at the same time, you know, you got to slow down to speed up. You know, sometimes you got to slow down to speed up and, you know, self-quarantine. Use that time to self-reflect and, you know, be with your friends and family, because there's some people, they don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to, you know, like live in solitary confinement without that human feel or that human interaction. Some people don't know how to do that. So it's like a gift and a curse. Some people may go crazy. Other people, you know, they'll deal with it. Me personally, I'm like quarantine and isolation, those things are new to me, because I don't fuck with a lot of people anyway, and I could be a homebody sometimes. I travel a lot, yeah. I party, yeah. I mix and mingle, yeah. But at the same time, I know how to withdraw, because I don't need a fucking crowd to feel like I'm royalty. You understand me? So, you know, I made a correlation. I made a comparison. I'm like, you know what is, you know, if being outside during the coronavirus pandemic And you know the dangers, you know the hazards, you know the dangers because it's airborne. It's like you fighting an invisible enemy. You don't know where it's at. It's airborne. And I'm thinking to myself, it's going outside during the coronavirus pandemic. You know, even when government officials are telling you to stay your ass home and quarantine. Even when they telling you that and you going outside, does that correlate to, unprotected sex? You feel me? Because some people don't give a fuck about catching an STD and STI or whatever you call that nowadays. Some people don't give a fuck. They just want to get it on. They want to get it in. They want to get down to the nitty gritty. They want to get that nut. Because you know how they say it's no feeling like having that human interaction. Going outside. Being one with nature and seeing other people and, breathing in fresh air. Unless it's polluted air in NYC or the smog in LA. But you get what I'm saying. It's like people want to go outside because it's the natural thing to do. Just like having raw sex. It's the natural thing to do. Because, we're supposed to live fruitful and multiply. Multiply and live fruitful. You understand me? So is raw sex the same thing as disobeying, social distancing? And I say in a way it is and in a way it's not. Because, just like you could say that being, having unprotected sex, barebacking, raw dog, getting it in without a condom, without a latex, without prophylactic, without any of those things to protect yourself, to protect your neck. Is that the same thing as going outside and not giving a fuck about your health? Because people are playing Russian roulette with their lives, whether it's having sex or going outside during an international pandemic like the coronavirus, because you don't know when you might be infected. You can have the symptoms, you don't even need the symptoms to know that you have the coronavirus, just like you don't need symptoms to know that you got that package. You may got the monster. You may have the house in Virginia, also known as HIV. You may have the package, the monster, the heebie-jeebies, better known as AIDS or syphilis or gonorrhea or herpes, and you don't even know. You don't even know until you get tested. Just like you may have the coronavirus, that Rona baby, that Ro. You may have that Rona and you don't even know, but you spreading that shit like paper. You passing it around, and you don't even know. You don't even know that you have it. And that's why it's an international emergency and they telling people to stay in, not to really, introduce on a low martial law, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. They might not. But, the reason why you should stay in and self-quarantine is to, make sure that you're looking out for your fellow men. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fair to people to be infected because you can't stay indoors. You don't know. You don't have any discipline. You don't have any discipline to stay indoors. Just like you may say somebody may not have discipline to not have, unprotected sex. But unprotected sex is natural. That's how we got here. That's how I'm here. That's how you here. If it wasn't for unprotected sex, I wouldn't be speaking and you wouldn't be listening. Real talk. So it's like, it's kind of like the government or the quote unquote powers that be and other people included. It's like they telling us to not do something that's natural. That's what I'm saying, is having raw sex, raw dogging it, raw diggity dog. Is that the same thing as going outside during the coronavirus pandemic? Now, you could say it's not the same because when you have sex with somebody, it's consensual. I would hope so, unless you're a fucking creep and you take off the condom when you fucking shorty from the back, when you doing dog, because some dudes do that. Some dudes do what we call stealthing. And stealthing is like when you take out the condom mid-thrust. It's like the pussy feel good and you just want to, feel that shit for yourself. And it's like selfish because your partner doesn't want to, they don't want raw sex. So why you should violate that trust? So that's an act of selfishness. Just like going outside during the coronavirus pandemic when you really don't have shit to do, is selfish to other people. You understand me? Both instances can be labeled as, demonic or evil, depending on who you talk to. But it's like when you want to have that raw sex, like I love raw sex. I ain't gonna front, but the thing is, my partner knows. And vice versa. That's like a consensual agreement. A vice versa consensual agreement that we agreed upon that we're gonna get it in. And hey, we may have to face the consequences later on. You know what I'm saying? We may have to face the consequences later on, but we made that decision between us. It was between us. We made that decision. But other people don't want the coronavirus. They did not make that decision for you to, for them to inhale your fucking germs. You feel me? They don't want to inhale your germs. And I get it. You walking around, you walking around with a face mask and you telling yourself, I'm safe. But then again, your breath may stink so bad that you may kill yourself from gingivitis or halitosis. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, you probably more in danger of inhaling your own breath than the fucking coronavirus. Real talk. But enough with the, roasting session. I'm just saying, is it the same thing? I want to know this. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Because both instances are natural. Both instances of going outside, enjoying nature, and you having unprotected sex because it feels good. Just like going outside, it feels good. And that's why when you stay indoors, you're gonna go crazy. You loco, you vato loco homes. It's like you going crazy because self-quarantine, a lot of people don't practice that. Like if you're in the military, you're trained different. You could stay indoors for a long period of time because you're trained. A lot of people are not trained to do that. So people are going crazy to the point where they're going bonkers. Like a lot of people are posting some crazy shit on social media out of boredom. Real talk, to the point where I got to unplug from the matrix because people are so bored that they'll say anything. So it's like, is it the same thing? Is the behavior patterns the same? Like a coronavirus is not the same as an STD. And in no means I'm comparing the two. I'm comparing the behaviors of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like just because somebody goes outside during the coronavirus pandemic, regardless of warnings, is that the same thing as having unprotected sex, regardless of warnings? There's STDs and STIs out there. Motherfuckers I'm burning. Motherfuckers are pissing razors. And people are passing out STDs like it's fucking candy. And it's like, do you care? Do you care? On one minute you say, one side, one end of the spectrum, you may say it's not the same thing. It's like, it's not in the same sport, in the same ballpark, in the same league. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not the fucking same. You're bugging. Nah, son, you're bugging. What the fuck are you talking about? On one hand, you could say that. On the other hand, you could say, well, it's selfish. It's selfish. It doesn't make sense. It's like if somebody tell you not to do something, why are you going to do it until you literally get burnt? It's like a child. You tell a child not to put their hands on the stove because it's hot and they do it anyway. Now they want to cry. Now they want to complain. Now they want to boo-hoo about the consequences. So a lot of people won't get the picture until it affects them or somebody closest to them. So it's kind of it's kind of like the same as, having unprotected sex. You may think that you're invincible until you get that package, until you get something that you necessarily don't want. And you're going to have to live that. You're going to have to live with that shit, rather. You're going to have to live with that shit for life. For life. So family, I just wanted to talk to y'all right quick. I'm taking it easy. I'm maintaining. You understand me? I'm maintaining. And, I'm having a blast because I know how to entertain myself. But I'm going to touch on that. I'm going to touch on a lot of things in this month of May. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be coronavirus heavy. And then the next month in June is back to the regularly scheduled program. I'm going to go back to my bullshit. You feel me? I'm going to go back to talking that shit. You understand me? So I want to focus on... it's not going to get to the point. I'm not going to induce fear in your heart. This is a fucking entertainment. Excuse me. This is an edutainment podcast. I'm not here to instill fear in your heart because not for nothing, fear could destroy your immune system. Just like a fucking virus or bacteria could destroy your immune system. You understand me? I'm not here for that. I'm not here to, put fear in your hearts. I want to, put a lighthearted spin on this coronavirus pandemic. You feel me? Sometimes, people take life too serious that, they don't know how to smile sometimes. You dig? And on that note, this has been another episode of Swingers After Dark, and this is your host, Not Some, baby. Check out my website at www.notsomebass.com. That's www.notsomebass.com. NAHSUNBLAZE.com. And check out my ebook, You, Me, Us, Them, The Swinger Manifesto. It's on Nook, Kindle, iBooks, Google Play. Go get it. Shoot me an email at swingpodcast@gmail.com. That's swingpodcast@gmail.com, and hit me up with any questions and or concerns that you may have. Rate, share, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. Dig. And on that note, until next time, peace. And stay your ass home.